Hello there, good afternoon, and welcome to Midday Discourse on Global TV. I am Samuel Odi. Um, Today we'll be talking about the 1 billion loan that Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be looking to get from the World Bank. In a short while, I'll be introducing my guest who would be giving us more details about how the funds would be used for the masses. Building up from former President Muhammadu Buhari, who was able to obtain and submit an application to the Senate of getting a loan of $800 million that would be used for the public due to the fact that the fuel subsidy, would be taken out, and then this $800 million will be used for 12 million households, poor households. And now the current president, in the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is seeking to take a $1 billion loan from World Bank in respect for the internally displaced persons and also for agriculture. We'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, I would be introducing my guest. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse on Global TV. I am Samuel Odi. So today we'll be looking at the loan aspects that our president, beloved President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is seeking to get from World Bank in respect to, the crisis been going on, and also he wants to find a way to, settle the internal displaced persons to get back to their communities, and also go back to farming, and then help reduce inflation rates going on in agriculture. At this point, I'll be introducing my guest in the person of Larry Tolechi. Hello, good afternoon, sir, Mr. Larry. He's joining us all the way from the UK. Good afternoon, Mr. Larry. How are you doing, sir?
Good afternoon, Sam. I'm fine, and you? And how's everyone at home? Good evening,
Everyone
good
is at
afternoon, viewers
home.
at home.
Yeah, everybody at home, it's fine. We're blooming, we're strong, and it's been good. So, Sam, our president wants to take a loan of 1 billion from the World Bank in respect to internal displaced persons and agriculture. So, how do you think this loan is going to cause a bit of changes with the current inflation that's actually going on?
My take is straight and it's funny because I feel it's in the usual way of this present government. They've constantly get to put the cart before the horse. In all they've done, we've seen how since they came into power May 29th, they've constantly done good. They have probably have good intentions, and they've gone around it in the wrong way. Now the country is already neck deep in foreign and internal debt. Then you are going for another 1 billion naira loan from the World Bank, and they want to use the money on IDPs, and they want to use the money on agriculture. Now the question is, how would this translate to what they say they want to achieve? For me, it's going to be another white goose chase, because it's who is going to do this agriculture? Because the way it is, they will get this loan and put the money into agriculture. Then the farmers won't be able to go to farms because of insecurity. We have kidnappings everywhere. Where there are low kidnapping, we have the herdsmen go into these farms to eat the farm produce and all that. So you're going to get this money, and you're not going to be able to actually invest this money rightly, because the farmers won't be going to the market, won't be going to the farm, and even when they go to the farm to do the planting season, they won't be able to harvest because they will be scared to go because of insecurity. They don't want to be kidnapped, and even when they're not kidnapped, the produce won't be able to be transported from the market, from the farm to the marketplaces or to where they are needed. And that is those ones that the herds have not eaten of, or the one that something have not done to. So we going to the market, or we going to the money markets to want to go borrow funds and all that, all in the name of trying to borrow. It's wrong. I think what the government need to first do is to address the basic needs, address the basic issues before borrowing. I don't have issue with borrowing if you are borrowing and using it for the right reason, or using it for what is needed to be used. And at the end of the day, you see they borrow these funds, and some people, few people will gather and they will share this money, and it will be looted. Or if it is not looted, it will be misappropriated and used in the wrong way. And at the end of the day, the country will be indebted, the goal won't be achieved, and all that. So I think the government, this present administration, need to sit back and re-strategize their ways of doing things. They need to sit down, re-strategize, go back to the drawing board, and do what is right and what is needed to be done before they rush to anywhere to borrow.
Yes, thank you. And the whole loan has been built all the way from the regime of President Muhammad Buhari. He actually 3 weeks before he left office, he applied for the 800 million loan, which was approved, and then it was disbursed during this regime of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. During when President Muhammad Buhari applied for this loan, he said 5,000 naira will be disbursed on a monthly basis to poor families. But when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in, he said 8,000 will be given on a monthly basis for a period of 6 months, and it's going to be given to 12 million homes. That's in summary, it's going to be about 60 million Nigerians who will be benefiting from this. At this point, I have not received, and I've not seen anybody that has received. How do you think that this loans, this money is being borrowed from China and World Bank are actually being used for actually what is being borrowed for?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Simon. That's what I'm saying. We have people that really don't understand the basic understanding of governance, basic understanding of economics, and basic understanding of how to govern a diverse people like Nigeria. And I'll tell you why. It takes an intellectually lazy set of people to think when you borrow funds, the best way to do is to distribute funds to the citizenry. That is the kind of way to ease economic hardship. Basic law of economics will tell you once you have excess amount of cash in the system, there's bound to be inflation, and there must be inflation. And now these people keeps borrowing. We saw what they did with trader money when some looted funds were returned, and we saw the then past former vice president was going to the marketplace and sharing these repatriated funds all in the name of trader money or whatever nomenclature they gave it, instead of them to reinvest the money into social infrastructural development. Because if he actually wants to take care of the Nigerian economic woes and you want to turn it around, it is not going around sharing money. It's about investing in social infrastructural and infrastructural development of the nation. Now, the Buhari government, we all know, were they were not even zero, they were on minus when it comes to economic activities or economic development. So it was not surprising for me when they said they wanted to start sharing 5,000 naira, because give it to them. They don't know what they're talking when it comes to economy. And Nigerians, they asked him, even when he was campaigning 2014 and when he campaigned in 2019, nobody asked him what he was going to do in time of economy. They were only telling Nigerians they want to fight corruption. And we saw what happened there. So don't let us go there. Story for another day. And now we came in, and now the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu governance people, okay, administration that some people probably felt would do some things, came and said they want to do 80 million, they want to do this to this number of household, to this number of people. Where are they getting this data? Where are they getting these statistics they are quoting? I've always asked, look, I'm a data scientist by training, and I believe in data. Where do we actually get our data, and where do we get our facts right in Nigeria? Our data is in shambles. Look, it is not sharing money. What, like I just told you, is not going to go borrow money. So you are going to go and borrow money. You are going to go and borrow $1 billion. You want to invest. You want to improve the life of IDPs. You want to invest in agriculture. Okay, Sam, let's look at it. There's still insecurity. We still have pockets, not pocket, we have serious insecurity issues in Nigeria. There are kidnapping issues, there are a lot of communal clashes, there are a lot of terrorists. Some of our some local governments in our nation are under terrorists. We all know that in some parts of the country, we know for people to be able to go to their farm, they must pay a particular levy to some terrorist group or the other so they can be safe to go to their farms or to go about their daily activities. And you are going to borrow money. What do you want to do? I would expect a government that is responsive, a government that understands the meaning of governance, a government that understands what it is to govern people, that actually feel, that has empathy for the people, to first address these issues of insecurity, to first address these issues of some basic issues before you now start looking for loans to actually now address these things. Because if you borrow loan, if you get loans, if you go for loans and you want to take care of IDPs, so when you settle these IDPs, if you like give them $2 billion each, now they will end up in IDPs in few months because they will be chased out of where they were, or they will be chased out of their ancestral homes again. Are we going back to the markets to borrow again? Or you borrow these funds and you give it to these farmers? They will go, yes, they will start these farms. They will want to look at job, food security, right? No problem. They will start this farm. But what happens to if the whole land, if a whole state in Nigeria is turned to a farmland? And okay, let's use a state like Niger State that actually has the highest landmass in the country. Let's okay, Niger want to use the whole of Niger State to be a farmland. Now, when they use the whole of Niger State as a farmland, no problem. Now, what happens if people cannot access the farm? So the funds will be there. They will have planted all they needed to plant. Now, in time of harvest, whether fruit crop or whether livestock, when you cannot access this place because of insecurity, because of farmer headers clashes, say, look, not even talking of roads and all that. We are talking of some basic economic threat or basic security threat. This money will be wasted because you are not going to be yielding anything. So I feel it is wrong. The governance, if this government wants to actually make life easy or make things easier for Nigerians, they need to sit down and re-strategize. They need to sit down and actually look at the root cause. Look, I am a trained data scientist. I am a business analyst. And in business analysis, is what we call the root cause analysis, where you ask the 5 whys. Why is this? Why is this? You get to the whys, answer the whys before you now start looking for loans and all that.
Looking at all of the loans that federal government has acquired on the country, starting from former President Muhammadu Buhari, from when he assumed power, speaking about President Muhammadu Buhari now, the debt profile of Nigeria was 42 trillion to 77 trillion. This has attachment effect to debt servicing, which rose from 1.6 trillion in 2015 to 5.24 trillion as at 2022. What I'm saying here now is the loans that Nigerians keep taking keeps getting high, until when President Mohamed Buhari left office in May 29th on 2023, the debt toll for Nigeria was 80 trillion. But with all of this money is being borrowed, how comes Nigeria still have 133 million people who are living in multidimensional poverty? How do we come out of that?
Sam, that I just told you. I told you in one of in my opening comments, and I told you that most of these funds, why these guys runs to take loan, is not because they love the people. It's because they want to loot. Okay, there is nothing for them to loot. So what they want to do, okay, let's take the loan so they can get their own share of the looting. But I keep telling people it's only a lazy, intellectually lazy set of people that think that is the way out. If they really want to do something and if they really want to do something good to this nation, to the nation Nigeria, what they just need to do is to think, put on that thinking cap. And believe me, Nigeria is blessed with a lot of intelligent individuals, a lot of intelligent Nigerians, both within and outside the shores of Nigeria, that can do great and wonderful things for them. All they need is engage them, just engage the right people. And when they engage the people, these things will be sorted out for them. They should reach out to people if they are confused. They should reach out to people and just let's help them out. It is easy because what they are doing, they keep borrowing and they keep borrowing and they keep looting and they keep looting. Look, how can you borrow? Look, the Buhari government, I keep asking people, they met it, like you just said, at 42 trillion, they took it to 77 and at the time to 80 trillion when he was leaving office as at May 29th, 2023. Now, what has he done with about 38 trillion increase he did to it? What, look, 38 trillion naira, it's not something that is easy. It's not something that is easy.
We're having a bit of network glitch there. We'll go on a short break and then we'll be back. Welcome back. We still have Larry Torcher, who is still joining us all the way from UK. If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discuss, and we're here deliberating on the 1 billion loan that Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is about to take from World Bank. Mr. Larry, are you still there?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry, like I was saying before, you know, the technology has its own ways of doing things.
Yeah.
So, as we're saying, so as we're saying, also if the administration of past President General Muhammadu Buhari moved our debt profile from 42 trillion and they moved to 80 trillion, that means there was a 38 trillion that is government alone incurred on the nation, which is humongous, which is huge. Now, and like I was saying, we know that the naira is so weakened against any other foreign currency. Even at that, 38 trillion naira is huge, is humongous in any currency of the world you want to do it. So if the money had been utilized even to as low as 50%, we will have seen the differences, we will have seen the effect in Nigeria and on the life of Nigerians. But because they are not being used, you see these guys, they just take this loan, these guys take this loan and you can't see them do anything. They do shady stuff, they do all kind of things, and all of them claim to love the nation. All of them claim they're doing it for all that. So that's why they keep taking this fund, they keep taking this loan, and they keep looting and relooting it. They keep looting and relooting. That's why we have more than 130 or 150 million Nigeria living in multi-dimensional poverty. I can tell you Nigeria as of today is lacking the middle class. Is either you are rich or you are poor in Nigeria. And that is the problem. Look, any nation that is either you're rich or you're poor don't develop. Every nations in the world that have had to develop depends on the middle class, and the middle class in Nigeria is gone. There's no middle class in Nigeria. These guys have come and they've ruined the nation, and they keep ruining the nation, and they ruin the nation at pride because they are so proud in their ignorance, and that is the problem. So Nigeria needs to actually start asking questions, and these guys too, they need to pause, take a pause, understand how things work. They should understand. I guess the problem with APC and APC-led government is they were so good in propaganda, they were so good in propaganda as opposition that even when they came in and as a ruling party or as a rule as a power as a party in power, they still feel they still feel everything is done by propaganda. They still feel that things are done the way they should, the way they like doing it in criticizing. They've refused, even after 8 years, going to 9 years, that they've been in power. They should start leading, or they should start doing things as a power, as a party in power, or as people, as a set of people in power, and stop thinking of how to blame people and blame people. They should move. A child of almost 9 in Nigeria should be in probably primary 3 or primary 4. So it means a lot of things that happened, yet they still want to blame because you see now they will go take this loan of 1 billion and $1 billion and nothing's going to happen, and they're probably going to blow. They're going to be blaming if they don't blame. Probably be blaming Tafa Balewa or blaming Nnamdi Azikiwe or blaming Awolowo because they like blaming. They don't take responsibility. And one of the key things to see a set of people that failed is they don't own up to their failure. They look for people to blame.
Look for people to blame, he says. Okay, now, the way the loan now, the 1 billion loan, actually is 1 billion plus loan. So the $1 billion loan, which is set to be taken from World Bank, it says in the title, that's in the letter written, and then in the website of the World Bank, it says solution for internally displaced person and host community project, a rural access and agricultural marketing project scale. In this now, it's not stated anywhere that these internal displaced persons now, there's going to be a kind of a security, securities are not actually involved in this loan. Why? Because now the internal displaced person actually left their host communities because of, security challenges. And now, do you think it's wise for the government to want to take this internal displaced person back home and their host communities back without settling the issues of security? Because obviously, if they go back,
Thank
where
you,
would they
Sam.
farm when the issues of security has not been sorted?
Thank you, Sam. You are seeing what I'm saying. You know, in my response, right, I told you that a responsive government, a government that know what they are doing, and instead of people that are intellectually mobile and sagacious in the approach to things, we look at root cause of things to solve, not looking at look when you have issue of weed, you don't chop up the head, you try to uproot it. You look at the root cause, and what I thought they should have done a government should this government should be doing was for them to do a root cause analysis. We have security insecurity issues. We have a lot of huge insecurity issues in Nigeria, and that is why we have the IDPs ab initio. So what I thought a government that is responsive should have done, or a government that understand or know what it is to be a good government is they should first take care of insecurity, iron out whatever is causing this insecurity, identify them first, and iron and take care of them before you now think of relocating and reintegrating the IDPs. But what are they doing? they want to reintegrate the IDPs without taking care of the insecurity. And if they continue to do that, now you see that these guys will become IDPs again. I'm not praying that, I'm not praying for that, but that is what we are looking at, because people, they won't do what is right. If not doing what is right, they will keep making mistakes. They constantly look. We've seen the Tinubu administration do it over and over again since May 29th. They assumed office, always putting the cart before the horse. That is what they've done. We've seen what they've done, even with the student loan, with all their promises, the with removal of subsidy. These are fantastic policies. You look at it, believe me, they're fantastic policies. But how have you implemented them? Implementation is what we're talking about. Doing the right thing in the right way. You cannot be doing the right. Look, you can be doing something that is right in the wrong time and it'll be totally wrong because you do not. Your timing is be wrong. Is not right. Now, these guys don't know what they are doing. Look, without any apology, I am not sorry to say what I've said. Look, because when you go to take this loan, about 1.84, I think it's 1.84 billion US dollars. I think something around that. You take this loan, you want to take care of IDPs, you want to reintegrate them to which community, to which society, the community and society that totally disintegrated, community and society that are still vulnerable to security and terrorist attack. Is that where you want to go and resettle? Is that where you want to go and mortgage the future of the unborn generations of Nigerians? With, you ask yourself, does these guys look, does these people, or do these people rather, do these people actually have, do they have conscience at all when they do all these things? They don't even have conscience when they are doing all these things. They do these things without conscience and they are not scared. And like I'm telling you, they want to borrow money for agricultural revitalization or whatever they have termed it. What agriculture are you talking of? Where is the security? How have you guaranteed the farmers? How have you guaranteed these guys doing agriculture into agribusiness? How have you guaranteed their safety? If they are not being kidnapped in their farms. We have herders coming to destroy their farm produce. If herders have not done that, when they are trying to transport this produce, if they are lucky, the 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 cattle do not eat their produce, they grow. They are, and they are lucky they are not being kidnapped on their way to harvest these things. When they are transporting this produce from the point of from the farms to the point of sales, the roads are bad. If road infrastructural, look, infrastructural development is as good as zero. The roads are bad. The vehicles will break down the road if they're not spraying through their noses to transport. So this end product will still be expensive in time of, because of what they are spending in for the logistics. If they actually get there, if the road, if they don't have any one road issue or mishap or the other. So there are a lot of things for this government. I expect a government like this to come and do, and it's not the time to blame past government. I keep telling people you can't keep blaming. Now, yes, people know that the past government have not done well for them. That is why they voted you guys into power. Now they voted you guys into office. What you should do, yes, nobody's expecting you to do magic overnight. I don't believe there's magic overnight, but people want to see them make the right move, take the right decision in the right steps. Look, take the right steps in the right decision, in the right direction rather. And people want to see you move, but they are not moving. They kept on doing the same thing over and over again, and they want to get a different result. It is not possible. You must do something different to get something, to get a result or to get an outcome that is fantastic.
Doc, you said something about timing. Is it safe to say that, okay, is it the right time for the federal government, as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is it safe for him now to go and get this loan, or he should pay his attention more on like settling the, security challenges faced by most of these host communities before sending the IDPs back?
If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to tell himself the truth and he wants to be a true leader that Nigerians need by now at this moment, he should forget about the loan. If he's really, really concerned about Nigerians and Nigeria, he should know that taking this loan, except him and his kitchen cabinet want to do something with that loan. But if that's what they want to do with it, they should leave the loan for now. What they should face now is the insecurity, in the area in where this in the ancestral homes of these IDPs, take care of the insecurity of that, address the security situation, ensure that farmlands and every farmer is produced, accept the safety of life and properties of every single Nigerians, address the root cause issues, and leave this alone. After you've done that, after he has done that, believe me, there will now be time if he now needs the funds to now reintegrate this IDP, because then they are sure that their home, their communities, their societies are safe. They can now reintegrate them and reintegrate them back to the community. Then he can go take the loan. But for now, I don't think he needs the loan now, except there's something else they want the loan for and they don't want to tell us.
When we come back, you kindly please rejoin us. We'll be going on a quick break shortly, and we'll be right back. When we come back, we'll still have Mr. Larry, who is joining us all the way from the UK as we continue this deliberation. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse on Global TV. I am Samuel Odi. We have Mr. Larry, who's joining us all the way from the UK as we deliberate on the $1 billion loan that Mr. President, in the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is seeking to get from the World Bank. Mr. Larry, are you still with us?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So you're talking about timing. So you're saying the president should, take a back seat right now and not go ahead with the loan?
Yes, he should take a back seat now and not go on a loan, because he had no business taking the loan now if truly he wants the loan for Nigerians or the development of Nigeria. All he needs to do now is, like I said, attend to the root cause issues of why we have these IDPs in the first places, of why we have this scarcity of food in the first places, and why do we have these IDPs in the first places? We have these IDPs because we have insecurity, we have terrorists taking over some of the territories of the nation. We should attend to that. We should reclaim our land from these terrorists and these unscrupulous individuals, ensure that the national integrity is upheld, and ensure that all our territory belongs to the nation Nigeria under one flag, the green, white, green. First, when we do that, then on in time of the why do we have the farm, why do we have the food insecurity? We know one of the reasons why we have food insecurity and we have food scarcity in Nigeria is because of the farmer header clash. We have the the kidnappers issues and all that. He should address all these things where Nigerians will not need to pay tax or pay a kind of levy to another militia group just because they want to access their farms or because they want to access their ancestral homes. These are the things you should do and ensure that ranches look. Yes, you can rear your cattle, you can rear your animals without them destroying farmers' land and all that. All these things, these are the things we need to do. After you've done that, you now address this basic nat- uh, infrastructural development like good roads and all that so that farm produce can move from the farm to the markets. And when I mean the market, doesn't necessarily have to be the market, but you know what I mean by the market, the
Yes.
targeted audience and
Mm-hmm.
all that. And those are the things he should be thinking of, not going to take this humongous amount of money that probably will be shared and looted by some people in the kitchen cabinet.
Nigeria has been battling insecurity, terrorism for the past decade now, technically. So, are you saying that? Do you think that insecurity and terrorism is something that can be, you know, swept off, in the period of like 2 years, if Mr. President should pay attention to it?
It's I know it's something that can be addressed and be brought to barest minimum. See, look, it can. All we need is determination of a leader and the political will of any of the political class. So once we have the political will of the political class, insecurity, terrorism in Nigeria will be a thing of the past. And they know that. Look, we all saw what happened in Russia. There was a bomb, and in less than 24 hours, we saw they caught the people. We saw that the culprits, the perpetrator of the demonic or satanic act were caught. It tells you a government that is responsive. A lot of people tell you a lot of things about Russia and all those things, but you've seen them, they've defended the territorial integrity of its people and they've constantly done that. Look, the former military leader of Nigeria, General Sani Abacha, said that any terrorist, if terrorism is taking too long, it shows that the leadership, I don't want to paraphrase it the way he did for some reasons, but it tells you that it shows that some people top there understand what is happening, know what is happening. So, like I'm saying, if the government, any administration wants to curb terrorism and insecurity, and they want to do that, and they have the political will, they can address it, and it can be done even faster than the 2 years you talked about. It can be done in months.
Mm. Okay. So talking about the loan, so now the loan has been broken down, on how it's going to be used. In the letter, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said $500 million would be used for internal displaced persons and their host communities. And then he said 555 million US dollars will be used for agriculture and, marketing and other projects. But it's not stated anywhere that um, education for this internal displaced person is not stated anywhere, because it just says it's going to be for the internal displaced person and the host communities. It's not stated that, okay, educational aspects will be taken care of, health-wise will be taken care of, and then homes. Where is the government seeking to send these people to if, one, they've not tackled the issue of insecurity, and they didn't bring a vivid, description of what they want to use these monies for?
Look, like I told you, my brother, Samuel, he just what you, what you and I have been discussing. They really are not serious about what they want to do. That's why they're giving Nigerian vague budget line or vague line. IDPs. And when you ask them now, what do you want to do with IDP? They'll tell you, we've told you IDP. Oh, if you say, oh, where are you going to give them home? We've told you IDP. Are you going to give them school? We've told you IDP. Are you going to provide health for them? They'll tell, we've told you IDP. We want to take care of them and their host community. Look, it just shows you. And the painful thing is, I think the World Bank and a lot of Western body are not trying for Nigeria in a way, because if they actually want Nigeria to develop, they shouldn't be approving every frivolous loan application thrown into them or sent to them by Nigerian government, they should probe it because it's not very detailed. Because if you want to do something to the IDP, if you want to actually uh, uh, cause poverty alleviation, or you wanted to elevate the lifestyle and improve the life of the IDPs, you tell us, okay, we have $500 million allocated to IDPs. XXS amount is going to the education. XXS amount is going to rehabilitation. XXS amount is going to health infrastructure. XXS amount is going to uh, infrastructural development and all that. And if you are coming to agriculture, XXS is going to livestock. XXS is going to processing. They won't tell you all that. They just give you vague. They give you lump sum and lazy. Look, this set of guys, the truth is, Nigerians have never had it this bad in terms of having intellectually lazy set of people leading them like we presently have with the guys we have there now. That intellectually lazy, all they know is how to connive to just put Nigeria in one economical woes.
So that means you're trying to say that this government are actually trying to run Nigerian economy deep into the ground, because from the way it is now, we're actually owing over 80 trillion, that was inherited from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So that was inherited from President Muhammadu Buhari to this current administration. Are you saying that APC now is trying to run the Nigerian economy into the ground?
My brother, I think we should answer this. It is glaring. Before, prior to May 29th, 2015, we know our debt profile.
Yeah, our debt
Between May
profile was around
29th,
1.6 trillion thereabout.
now, between May 30th, let's even accept, okay, May 29th, 2015 to May 29th, 2023, we knew what General Muhammadu Buhari did. And now, from then to now, we knew. I'm sure most Nigerians, some people will tell you that they are missing General Muhammadu Buhari, and it's painful that people should be thinking of missing a calamitous government and administration like that. But these guys are showing us that, look, hmm, these guys that pass seems to be better. And it is heartbreaking that every government that comes, you think you've seen the worst, the one that will come, perpetrate worse things than what the previous are done. It is painful that the APC guys came on propaganda and they were screaming and all that. I remember Save Nigeria. I think Save Nigeria, that's what they called themselves in January 2012,
So,
because
yes.
there was a removal of subsidy, which will have saved Nigeria a lot then. They connived with all their bodies and everybody, and they said, "Nah, this is that." And now the same set of people are the same set of individuals are the one telling us. And I remember General Muhammad Buhari saying, even before he was sworn into government, that there was nothing like subsidy, that subsidy was a cohort. But his government pay more in subsidy than anybody. Now these people have removed it. It is needed, like I told you, is a good policy removing subsidy, but how have you removed it? So you may be doing something right in a wrong way. And that's what we are saying. These guys are hell-bent to take Nigeria. Look, Nigeria was going a bit, but at a slow pace. General Mahmoud Buhari took us back to 1983 when he to December 31st, 1983, before he planned the coup. And now this government is even taking us further than 83. So that is
Mm,
it.
that's okay. Now, they are taking us back. So, what do you think is the best approach for them to use now if this loan gets approved by the Senate and then it gets awarded by World Bank? You know, how do you advise this monies should be used? What should be the first line of action, for the IDPs and then the agricultural sector? What should be the first line of action with all of these monies if it gets approved by the Senate and then gets awarded by World Bank?
Sorry, my brother, I smile, but you know why I smiled or why I'm laughing? It is not if it get approved by the Senate. It will. It should use when. We know the Akpabio letter, Senate is going to get. He had told us anything they send to him, he will. So he will approve it. So it is a done deal in the Senate. It's going to get approved. So it's going to get approved. Then the World Bank giving, I think they will give, like I said, but it is painful that we see World Bank give all these loans and we see IMF give all this loan to Nigeria because and the painful thing, they'll be the first to chunk out all kind of reports to say this is the performance of these, they are the KPIs. We're not, they shouldn't be giving this loan, but they're gonna give it. And look, if you ask him what will I advise, even when you advise them, they won't take it, but we'll try and advise them. What we think they should do is now. It's not even when it is approved. It is now. They should write a letter of withdrawal, not to go through with the application. They should not go through. They should write a letter of withdrawal to the Senate and tell the Senate to discard the approval. That is the only thing. They shouldn't take the loan. The Nigerians unborn, look, the Nigerian unborn, the unborn generation of Nigeria are already indebted enough. Address the issues you need to address before you go to take loan, because this loan they are taking, I can bet it with you, my brother somewhere, these guys are just looking for something they need to part with too. It is not for the good or for the use of Nigerians. Thank you.
You said you agree with the subsidy removal by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but how comes are Nigerians suffering, you know, more than they used to suffer before the subsidy was removed?
Yeah, I have. See, I like I said, I told you that it was a policy done in a wrong was this and I know presently the House of Rep or the last assembly and president assembly, the president actually have the document when we saw companies like Sahara Energy and Oando, which is run by the president's family, president family, when they said that even for the subsidy they are not being paid subsidy money. And I'm sure maybe you've seen the report because it's in the media space that is
Yes,
not
it
being
is in
run
the
by the
media space.
that's yeah, it's in the media space that look, they are not being paid for subsidy. They were only paid from moving from a point to the moving the crude to the guys in Europe and where they are doing the refinery. And even as at that the NMPC is making about 100 naira profit on every 1 liter sold or something like that. Now, so even terming subsidy, so there was the subsidy that wasn't there before. So we need to remove that waste. I think what Nigerians should be doing is demanding, and what a serious government should be doing is demanding from the federal government to demand from last removal on May 29th, and they said they were making subsidy. Now, so what is happening? Some people somewhere are not doing what is right somewhere. I think they need to ask the right question at the right time. You see, Nigerians should know that actually even Nigerians will do a lot of things to ourselves too, more than the the so-called government. We need to ask ourselves the question. But I feel the subsidy needs to be is a good policy. Subsidy is gone. It is painful, but I think it should be removed, and it should truly be removed, not just being said to be removed.
You know, the subsidy it said is going to help save Nigeria a lot of tons of money. So this money that's going to be saved from the subsidy removal, you know, what do you think this money should, you know, be invested in? Because it seems like the country it's losing its investors. So what do you think this money should be invested in? And then how does it affect, you know, the internal displaced persons and then the agricultural sector so that this inflation that we keep having would, you know, be on a minimal?
Yeah, I think we saw what the Goodluck Jonathan government tried to do with subsidy when they call it short P, right? Subsidy something something. I've forgotten that then and they brought in some things, and we know that some things too went wrong then. So what they tried their best, and I think that's what they should do now. The subsidy is being removed. They should put it in the right source. Maybe energy, because I feel one of the things is if you can get the energy sector right in Nigeria, take, we get a lot of things right. We get the energy sector. That's why we see a lot of companies are leaving Nigeria in droves and they're going to countries like Ghana because Nigeria had the population. That was the painful thing. That's why at times when I look at it, my heart bleeds. Nigeria is the market because of the population, and we know it is basic economy. You want to produce as a producer, you want to be close to the market. But because they couldn't maintain, it is expensive to take care of overhead in Nigeria. They moved to countries like Ghana. Tax is not being paid to Nigeria. Tax is being paid to Ghana, and the targeted market is Nigeria. It is painful. So I think we should actually, they should channel all that fund into energy and ensure that energy is being revived. And it brought me to what I've always told people, I get to discuss in some fora and I get to talk to some people and I tell them anybody that wants to run for office in Nigeria that comes and I talk and I've been fortunate to talk to a lot of people that wants to run for different offices in Nigeria and they tell me to run strategy because I do put good strategies and I just laugh when I see them. Anybody that comes and tell me I want to run for one office, especially executive offices, and your agenda is more than three, I know you are lying. Look, anybody running for any office in Nigeria, if your agenda is more than two, you're not going to do anything. You're only lying to Nigerians. You can anchor other things on those tools, but if they are, even two is much, but I think with two you can try. So what they should be doing or what they should think is focus on energy, divert all those funds on energy, ensure the energy sector is back. Believe me, once the energy sector is back, you might it will even be easier to tackle the insecurity, believe me, because you see security are doing well in Western world because everybody have a robust database and you have cameras and you have CCTV, you have technology. It's easier to actually tackle technology with technologies because with technology it helps you. You don't need all the manpower. You don't need the manpower as you think you need it, and you cannot run effective technology space without energy.
All right, that's just what time will let us take for today on Midday Discourse. Mr. Larry, I really appreciate you so much for making our time to join us all the way from UK. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. And that's all time can permit us to take today on Midday Discuss. Still join us tomorrow as we bring you more exciting, topics on Midday Discuss. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon.